Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. I am Farah Eliana binti Zakaria. My metric number is ISM PAK 09150010 and I'm as a moderator for today.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. My name is Nurul binti Muhammad Nasruddin. My metric number is 09150009. I will be the first panel as Dr. Nurul from Operation Department Hospital Sungai Buloh.
Hi, my name is Nur binti Kamarul Zaman. My metric number 09150001. Today, I as second panel as director of hottest newspaper in Malaysia.
Hello, good morning. My name is Siti Azira binti Muhammad Yusof. My metric number is ISM PAK 09510008. And I am the third panel and I will be the Inspector Rara from Damansara Damai Police Station.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and very good morning. My name is Nurul binti Abu Halim. My metric number ISM PAK 09151004. I will be the fourth panel and I will be the teacher from SMP Bandar Sentiara.
Our forum will begin now. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. With me, Farah Eliana as your moderator today. Our topic forum for today is about child abuse. Nowadays, child abuse is one of the popular cases that always occur in our society. Therefore, this kind of case need to be looked in a bigger scope so that it can be overcome. Okay, before we go further, let me introduce to all of you our panels for today. From my right, the first panel is Dr. Nurul binti Nasruddin. She is a doctor from Operation Department at Hospital Sungai Buloh. Hello doctor, how are you today?
I'm fine today, thank you.
Good. Okay, and the next is the second panel, who is Datuk Atira binti Kamarul Zaman. She is the director of hottest newspaper in Malaysia. How are you, Datuk?
I'm fine, thank you.
And the third panel is Inspector Rara Yusof from Damansara Damai Police Station. Hope you are doing well, Inspector. And the last panel is Teacher Akila binti Abdul Halim. She works as a counsellor at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Sultan Badlisha. How are you, teacher?
Hi, Miss Moderator. I'm fine.
Good, thank you. Okay. Before we begin our forum, I would like to mention here the definition of child abuse. Basically, child abuse is happen when a parent or caregiver, whether through action or failing to act, causes injury, death, emotional harm, or risk of serious harm to a child. So, without wasting our time, my first question to our first panel, Dr. Nurul, could you share with us what are the types of child abuse that can be found, especially in Malaysia?
Sure, thank you to moderator. Good morning everyone. Now, without wasting any time, I'm going to give a brief information about child abuse. Although there are many formal and acceptable definitions of child abuse, the following is offered as a guide for information on child abuse and neglect. Child abuse consists of any commission or omission that endangers or impairs a child's physical or emotional health and development. Child abuse includes any damage done to a child which cannot be reasonably explained, and it is often represented by a series of injuries. There are four major types of child abuse. It's physical, sexual, psychological, and neglect abuse. First, as I mentioned just now, it's physical abuse. It's known as any non-accidental injury to a child. This includes hitting, kicking, slapping, shaking, burning, pinching, hair pulling, and many more. Next is sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is any sexual act between an adult and a child. These include penetration, pornography, intercourse, or forced observation of sexual acts. Third is psychological abuse. Psychological abuse, also referred to emotional abuse or mental abuse, it is a form of abuse characterized by a person exposing another to behavior that may result in psychological trauma, including anxiety, chronic depression, or post-traumatic stress disorder. The last one is neglect abuse. It is known as a failure to provide for a child's physical needs. This includes lack of supervision, inappropriate housing or shelter, inadequate provision of food and water, and many more. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nurul, for all the sharings. From what you have shared with us just now, there are 4 types of child abuse, which are physical, sexual, psychological, and neglect abuses. Okay, we move on to second question. Dato' Atira, what are the factors that can cause child abuse? Could you explain to us?
Oh, okay. Assalamualaikum and hi. Thank you to moderator. As we know, children in families and environments where these factors exist have a higher probability of experiencing maltreatment. These factors can be significant, alerting bystander or family member to offer support to a family and keep a caring eye out. One of the causes of negative phenomena are because of the internal problem of a family. Studies show that abuse is often done by people near or blood relatives of children who are victims. For example, the parties usually be the starting point to the abuse of children, including parents, father and stepmother, or mother and uncle. In addition, the lack of religious education among married couples is also one of the causes of the problem of child abuse. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Atira. To make our forum flare up, I would like to ask Inspector Rara regarding to this case. As an inspector, could you share with us about the child abuse statistics?
Okay, thank you. Child abuse is on the rise in Malaysia, with an increase of some 700 reported cases in year 2012 and 2014. Despite significant strides made by the government in improving child protection, which measure in recent years, statistics from the Department of Social Welfare show a rise in reported child abuse cases in Malaysia, such as in year 2012 there were 1,999 child abuse reports, while in year 2013 there were 2,279 child abuse reports. And the last one, in year 2014, there were 2,718 child abuse reports, which was almost up to 3,000. Based on year 2014 reported figures, neglect is the most common form of child abuse in Malaysia. The breakdown of the 3 key forms of abuse are as follows. 952 child victims experiences neglect, meaning a caretaker failed to provide for their child basic. And then 963 child victims were physically abused. And the last one, 733 child victims were sexually abused. This shows that 72% of them were incest, and 58% child victims were abandoned babies. So as you can see, failure to provide care and supervision has become the most frequent cause of death among children. Child abuse report in Malaysia spiked to a record high last year. According to statistics, the number of physical children abuse cases jumped about 26% from 203 in 2013 to 257 in years 2014, the highest record over the last 5 years. PDRM reversed to a local daily. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Inspector Rara. From the statistics that you have shared just now, in 2012, there were 1999 child abuse cases reported,
Yes.
and 280 increased next year. In 2012, increased 501 cases, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Inspector.
Welcome.
To our last panel, Teacher Akila. As a counselor of school, what is your opinion on child abuse?
Assalamualaikum and thank you, Miss Moderator. Mirror, mirror on the wall, lend your ear and hear it all. Mirror, mirror, hear our forum about the child abuse. In my opinion, abuse is harmful to children. Children may experience a range of emotional, psychological and physical problems and trauma as a result of being abused or neglected. In order, all forms of abuse are likely to result in emotional problems for the child, in particular a lack of self-esteem and distrust of adults. The longer the abuse goes on, the more serious are the effects. Abuse and neglect. Children are more likely than other children to be destructive or aggressive, to abuse drugs or alcohol, or become young, orphan or street kid. In some situations, abuse neglect may result in permanent physical damage. In the long term, adults who have been abused as children are also more likely to abuse their own children and often experience difficulties in forming satisfactory relationships with adults. In short term, effect of emotional abuse could be a child crying constantly or a child who is needy. Another possible consequence is the self-fulfillment prophecy where the child begins to believe what the abuser say about them. For instance, if the abuser constantly tells the child that they are stupid, the child grade in school may suffer and they may begin to believe that they are stupid and will accordingly. This effect may become a long-term consequence if no one steps in to tell the child that they are not what the abuser say they are. That's all from me. Thank you, Miss Moderator.
Thank you, Teacher Akila, for sharing with us about the long-term effect and short-term effect of child abuse. Okay, I'm back to ask Dr. Nurul. As a doctor, you must have seen a lot of this case. Therefore, could you share with us what are the signs of the child abuse?
Yes, the signs can be divided to the types of child abuse. There are some signs of physical child abuse like burns, bite marks, cut, bruises, resistance to going home, and fear of adults. Meanwhile, the signs of sexual child abuse are inappropriate interest in or knowledge of sexual acts, seductiveness, and fear of particular person or family member. And last but not least, the signs of child neglect are clothing unsuited to the weather, being dirty or unbathed, extreme hunger, and apparent lack of supervision. That's from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nurul. Thank you to all the panels for the sharings and explanation on child abuse issue. Okay, Teacher Akila,
Yes?
could you share with us what are the short-term effects of child abuse?
Thank you, Miss Moderator. Let me give for an example about the short-term abuse. If mother neglects to interact with her children, the child may be suffering from a lack of emotional bond with his mother. As a short-term consequence, the child may be distant from playment or a teacher, possibly affecting their happiness, which may turn into depression. Temporarily, The child may not have made a bond with a parent, but in the long term, they may not be able to intimately bond with another adult and from adult relationship. That's all, Miss Moderator.
Thank you, Teacher Akila. Thank you to all the panels for the sharings and explanations on child abuse issue. To conclude, we can see the rates of child abuse is increasing from year to year. Therefore, we really need to do immediate action, so it cannot be more worsened. Furthermore, to surpass it, we must overcome it with elbow grease and million brilliant ways, so that we can overcome this problem. All the communities, include parents, teachers, and the government, need to alert on this issue and help children who become the victim of child abuse. Everyone, let us say no to child abuse.
No. Child abuse.
No.
Thank you to our 4 panels. It's an honor to invite you here. Bye. Assalamualaikum.